Hey guys, Greg here. It's the Vinyl Rundown. Massive haul of records from a record sale today in Los Angeles. Record store has their quarterly 30% off sale. All used vinyl, 30% off. It was packed. I had 2 hours on the meter and I barely got through jazz and a couple other things in 2 hours. So let's just get right into it. Well, first of all, strange record, comedy, 99 cents on sale for a quarter. Louie Nye, you probably don't remember him, you youngsters. Louie Nye, famous comedian in the 50s and 60s. Here's a better picture of Louie. I wanted to have one of his records because I got to meet him in a restaurant with him and Buddy Hackett were just hanging around. Came up to us and said hi. Really cool. They're both dead now. Most of the people in my videos are dead for some reason. Maybe because I'm old. Here's two records. I was actually looking for a record from this guy because I don't have anything in my collection from the great trumpeter Jack Sheldon. And you might know Jack Sheldon from the voice of Conjunction Junction in the Schoolhouse Rock thing, which was a major thing when I was a kid. And I was shocked to find out that he's white. Just from his voice, you kind of thought he was an old blues African-American guy. He's a white guy. That's him, what he looked like decades ago. Jack Sheldon and another related guy, Bob Dorough. Both of them were the voices of Schoolhouse Rock. Bob Dorough was like figure 8, 3 is a magic number, and Jack is Conjunction Junction. Jack is really known as a studio trumpet player. Started out as best friends with Chet Baker. Chet went a different direction, drugs, etc., died early. Jack Sheldon is still alive in his 80s, although he's had a couple of strokes, or one stroke, and he plays in LA once in a while. Inexpensive records, Deodato. I just kind of discovered him, but the whole CTI record thing I'm into now. CTI, I just started listening to these records. They sound great. He's got a version of Nights in White Satin on here. Nice gatefold inner thingy. And his granddaughter was in the news this week. Haley Baldwin is his granddaughter, married to Justin Bieber. I mentioned that in my last video. You're going to see all the same names and faces in these videos for some reason. Herbie Mann, Underground. I don't love Herbie Mann's stuff, but this was only $3.99 minus 30%. But it's got the great Sonny Chirac on guitar. Haven't heard this yet, but anything with Sonny Chirac on it is usually worth listening to. He's a very weird free jazz guitar player. Okay, here is one of the best finds of the day. Rahsaan Roland Kirk, one of the most interesting jazz guys of all time. He was born Ronald Kirk, changed his name to Roland Kirk. And he added the Rahsaan because he said that name came to him in a dream. He was blinded when he was about 2 years old. He's known as playing many saxophones at the same time. He crams 3, 4, 5 saxophones and or clarinets in his mouth at the same time. Maybe even a nose flute. What else was I going to tell you about Kirk? Natural Black Inventions, Root Strata on Atlantic Records, 1971. He had a stroke in about 74 and really slowed down and changed his style a bit. Unfortunately, wasn't as dexterous after the stroke, and then he died in the mid-70s. But one of the more interesting, unique guys in the history of jazz. Check out the names on some of these tunes. Something for Train that Train could have said. The ragman and the junk man ran from the businessman. They laughed and he cried. He had an interesting sense of humor. Did a lot of chit-chat on stage about ranting about politics and funny jokes. Really interesting guy. Here is a record that I'm amazed to have found today. I did a video on this guy last week, and because he died last week. Ken Nordine. And I'm shocked I found this for $7.99 minus 30%. Word Jazz Volume 2. So Word Jazz, he basically he added words to jazz, and they're like these mind poems, story things. They're funny, and the jazz behind it is kind of a cool 50s jazz. Ken Nordine just died at age 98 last week. And really surprised that I was able to find this for so cheap, because his stuff, some of his other records, Word Jazz 1, Son of Word Jazz, etc. Can't wait to listen to that one. Then we got some classical. These are only $2 on sale for 30% off. So what is that, $1.33? Janacek, Glagolithic Mass. I like saying Glagolithic. What is Glagolithic? I don't know. But it sounds interesting. $2. $1.30. Alright, here's a good one. Blue Note, Lee Morgan, Hank Mobley. Two of the greats from Blue Note. Peckin' Time, Paul Chambers on bass. Obviously it's a reissue. It was $18 minus 30%. And I'm actually not pleased of the pressing quality. Some of the recent Blue Note pressings like 5-10 years ago were not so great. This looks like it has some imperfections. But it cost me like 12 or 13 bucks. So check it out. Look what we got here. Oh my goodness. Coltrane on Impulse, Chim Chim Cheree, etc. This is obviously a reissue because it's only $20 minus 30%. Impulse, gatefold, nice to have. There were two reissued Coltrane side by side. I grabbed both of them and thought, well, I have to make a decision. Which one am I going to get? I got both of them. Impressions, also a reissue, but also a gatefold on Impulse. So, rounding out my Coltrane collection, Jim Hall, one of the greatest, most understated jazz guitar players of all time. People like Pat Metheny cite him as one of their biggest influences. Didn't play fast, didn't play crazy. Very tasteful, melodic, understated, soft-spoken. He died a few years ago. Red Mitchell on bass. It's just a duet, so it's going to be a quiet album. I hope the pressing quality is not noisy, because quiet albums do not sound good when they're noisy. Artist House Records. I don't even know what record label that is. And it's a gatefold. Let's see what it looks like on the inside, if anything good. It looks a little bit cold. But Jim Hall. Okay. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of Oscar Peterson, but this is on the MPS label. Again, second one I've talked about in my videos. Good quality pressings from Europe. And My Favorite Instrument by Oscar Peterson, 1973. It's got a lot of classic tunes on it. Body and Soul, Someone to Watch Over Me. Who plays on here? Anybody? Can't tell who the sidemen are. But $3.99 minus 30%. Here's another good jazz one. Terje Rypdal. And let's see, where is he from? Norway? I think he's Norwegian. Terje Rypdal, kind of a weird avant-garde experimental sort of guitar player. I don't think I have any of his stuff on vinyl. I have some of his stuff on CD, but bought the only Terje Rypdal I could find today, 30% off. I got a lot of listening to do, guys. Okay, record I knew nothing about, but the store people said, hey, it's free jazz, it's post-bop, it's got some good people on it. Cecil Taylor, very free jazz avant-garde piano player. Billy Higgins, great drummer. Ready for the 90s. I know nothing about this. I don't know the label it's on. But when stuff is on sale, I'm willing to check it out and roll the dice, see what happens. What's next? Schubert, Ninth Symphony, Valkyrian, $2, minus 30%. We're coming to the end already, guys. I got through this quick. I guess I've had a lot of caffeine today. Maurice Ravel, Seiji Ozawa, and La Tombeau de Couperin is a piece I've always liked. I probably have a couple versions of this already, but I grabbed it for the $2. I forgot to show you. Can we pan out or zoom out? I forgot to show you my Moby Disc Records t-shirt. There's a guy in LA who's doing reissue t-shirts. Seriously, this record store's been out of business for 25 years. And there's a guy who runs the Valley Relics Museum who's also in the t-shirt business. He's gone around to all the old businesses that were kind of classics from when I was a kid. And he's redoing their t-shirts. So I got two different ones from two different record stores. And we got ones from, different restaurants and stuff. So, Valley Relics Museum. I should give him a shout out and put his website up here because he's got a lot of great t-shirts, and you should check out his museum when he's when you're in Los Angeles. A lot of weird, cool old memorabilia. I think that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm supposed to tell you to smash the subscribe button and the like button and tell a friend and watch the video over and over again. So, thanks for watching.